What's up guys, welcome back to Let's Level Up with another video for you for 2026. Today we're starting with an ArchiCAD video that shows you how to create a model site. So let's dive right into it. So what you can see on the screen at the moment, this is what you get from a surveyor or a civils engineer of some sort with contours and boundary lines. So for the sake of this project, I've brought this in and drawn it by hand. So what you'll do to start off a site is you will want to go to the mesh tool. You're going to just select each point, making sure that you've got point by point selected, and make sure you snap into each end to create a full site. I'm going to send this to the back. Now you have created a mesh, which has a thickness of 1 meter, and it is minus 200 from the sort of 0 level. So we want that to be 0 and maybe increase the thickness a little bit just so that it looks a bit better. Let's go into a 3D view of that. You can either click 3D view or click F5 will take you to a 3D view of it. This is what we have at the moment. So to bring contours into this and to give it elevation, what you're going to do is quite a tedious process, I won't lie, but this seems to be a lot easier for smaller sites, for upmarket residential homes with smaller sites. Big commercial developments are on a more complicated scale, takes a lot longer to draw, and there are other ways to create sites other than this specific route for bigger sites, but we'll get into that in another video. So what you want to do is you want to go to not your spline but your polyline tool, and you want to go and individually click along this contour. It's not too much of a problem that it's not exactly curved. Because of the scale of it, you probably wouldn't even see the geometry change. So what you'll do is follow that same process. I'm going to fast forward for all the contours. So once you've created your contours out of polylines, what you want to do is possibly put it on some sort of a layer. Let's just go dimensioning site for this video. It can be labeled whatever you need it to be. And let's turn off this layer behind, which will be that DWG, that survey DWG. Now what you have is your mesh and your contours that you've drawn. Okay, this next step is quite important. What you want to do is click on your mesh and click on the mesh tool. And what you're going to do is hover over your contour that you just created, but by pushing spacebar, you'll get this polyline select. Click once, it'll bring up a toolbar that says fit all user ridges. Let's just see what else it has. No surface fitting, fit to all ridges. So we want to do the user, and you want to click OK, and what it's done is translated those points onto the site. So we basically go and do that for all the contours. I thought I'd just say that again because it can be quite tricky. What you want to do is select your mesh, select the mesh tool itself, hold down spacebar, which will highlight your contour, and click. Then accept the user ridges and it will transfer the points onto the site. Now what you can do is, obviously this should be on a layer that we selected. We can hide those layers, and now this is your site with the contours translated onto the surface. What we're going to do now is we want to elevate this. So obviously the surveyor drawing would have some sort of level on these. So we are going to just pick our own for this video. And we're going to click on any node. This toolbar will come up. Doesn't matter if this is stretching. Select your Z elevation. And let's say we're going to increase this by 1 meter. It'll say, do you want to apply this to all? Yes. If you didn't, it will only apply to just that point, which will probably give you a triangular shape in 3D. So let's apply it to all. You'll start seeing some triangulation happen. That's because now the contour has raised. So what you'll do is continue that process through all the contours. Select any point. Now we're going to go 2 meters because it's 1 meter each time. Apply to all, and so we go. Alright, so we now have elevated each contour of this mesh. Let's go have a look what it looks like in 3D. Okay. Now you obviously see the edges ramp back down to the base point. So what you're going to have to do is individually select those points that correlate to that contour. So we know that this top contour, if you're not sure, click on it. It'll give you the option, the Z option again, you see 7 meters. So we're going to click on the mesh itself, click on this point, we'll go Z again, we say 7 meters, but we're not going to apply to all. We'll do that for the same here, 7 meters, apply, and you'll see now that becomes a flat surface related to that top. So just before we finish this video, you'll see there's a lot of triangulation going on here, and I know a lot of architects wouldn't want to see this in their model. So it's a bit strange that you can't do it in one place for the plan and the 3D. Click on the mesh and plan. You're going to go to mesh settings. You want to come to your floor plan and section area. You want to come down to ridge selection. It's showing all ridges at the moment. You want to go user defined ridges. Right, click OK. That will cancel out all the triangulation. Now let's see if we go to 3D if that's sorted out. No, it does not. There is a way to get rid of these. What you're going to do is click on the mesh itself, scroll across in your ribbon, make sure you're in 3D. You'll find under model ridges, it says all ridges sharp. User defined ridges will cancel out the triangulation but leave your contours. And if you want to change those contour colors again, you know you can change them under the floor plan and section. That is the process to create a site in ArchiCAD. Remember, you can change the color of your contours and anything you may need in the floor plan and section, and not to forget your settings in the model view as well. I know that creating a site is very important to start a design, so I hope you found it informative, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.